All right, let's talk about building a digital fortress. We're going to take what might look like a boring old security checklist and turn it into a real, practical blueprint for protecting your company's most important secrets. And it all starts with one simple question.
So I want you to think about this for a second. What is your company's most valuable secret? Is it your client list? Maybe a secret recipe or formula? Your 5-year business plan? Whatever it is, those are your crown jewels. And right now, they are the #1 target.
Now, there's a technical term for these crown jewels, proprietary information. It's basically anything confidential that, if it got out, would make someone else a lot of money and probably cost you yours. It's the stuff that gives you your unique edge in the market.
Any great fortress, digital or physical, has to have a rock-solid foundation. And here's the thing, that foundation isn't built out of servers and firewalls. Nope, it's built on people and the policies that guide them. This is ground zero for real security. So how do we build that bedrock? Well, it starts with the legal stuff, the contracts. You gotta have ironclad non-disclosure and non-compete agreements. For anyone in a key role, background checks are non-negotiable. Then you need clear, written rules for everything. How to label data as secret or confidential, what the deal is with using personal phones for work, and this is so important. You have to look at these rules every single year. Things change, and your policies have to keep up.
Look, security training isn't something you do once and then check a box. It's a life cycle. It kicks off the very first day an employee starts, right? That's step 1. But the threats are always evolving, so your training has to, as well. That means constant updates on things like phishing scams. And everyone, I mean everyone, has to know exactly what to do when something serious happens, like a legal hold. Then, you wrap it all up with a yearly refresher to make sure it all sticks.
Okay, so our foundation of people and policies is poured and set. Now it's time to build the actual walls and gates. Let's get into the technology and the access controls that really give our digital fortress its shape.
Securing the gates is all about smart, simple rules that act like heavy-duty locks. First off, no shared passwords, ever. Every single person gets their own unique login. Passwords need to be changed on a regular basis, and if someone tries and fails to log in too many times, the system should just lock them out automatically. And don't forget the simple stuff, making computers log off when you walk away, or taking away the ability for people to install whatever random software they want. Those are huge, huge barriers for any attacker.
And the difference here is just night and day, isn't it? A weak fortress has people sharing logins, data isn't encrypted, software is a free-for-all. It's just asking for trouble. A strong fortress, on the other hand, is methodical. Unique IDs for everyone, encryption is mandatory, you know exactly what software is on your network, and you've disabled things like auto running from a USB stick. It's a totally different mindset.
Next up, we have to reinforce the walls themselves. This means every single computer needs up-to-date antivirus software, no exceptions. It means your sensitive data isn't just encrypted when it's sitting on a server, but also when it's flying across the network. It means locking down USB ports so people can't just walk out with data. And you need a master list, an inventory of every single device and every piece of software that is supposed to be on your network. If it's not on the list, it doesn't belong.
I really want to stop on this for a second, because this might be one of the single most critical, time-sensitive rules there is. The second an employee is terminated, their access to everything gets shut down. I don't mean by the end of the day, I mean immediately. The number of security breaches caused by a disgruntled ex-employee with the keys to the kingdom is staggering. This one step can prevent a catastrophe.
So, a strong fortress is great, but it's pretty useless if there's no one on the walls watching for trouble. And that brings us to the next layer, active defense. This is all about getting proactive, about actively hunting for threats instead of just waiting for an alarm to go off.
Your guards on the wall? That's your security team, your sysadmins. They need to be constantly reviewing the logs. Who's accessing the crown jewels? Why? They should be hunting for weird stuff, like someone downloading massive files at 2 in the morning, or a person in accounting suddenly trying to access engineering blueprints. Every single one of those red flags has to be investigated, no exceptions.
All right, now we have to talk about something no one likes to think about, but everyone absolutely needs to plan for. What happens when the walls are breached? Because let's be honest, it's not really a matter of if it will happen, but when. And having a plan already in place is everything.
So what does a good emergency plan look like? First, the moment you think there's a problem, you investigate. You have to find out how they got in. You need a formal, tested disaster recovery plan. And that plan is totally dependent on having regular, verified backups of your data. And those backups better be stored somewhere safe, off-site. Because a backup that gets destroyed in the same fire as your servers is, well, it's useless. Even basic things like surge protectors are part of this. They protect your data from being lost in a simple power outage.
So as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with one last question to chew on. Think about your own organization. Now that you've seen all these layers, the people, the policies, the tech, the active monitoring, the response plans, you have to ask yourself, honestly, is your fortress secure? Or are the gates just swinging wide open? Thanks for joining me.